Welcome to Lake Michigan today. Where's the lake? Well, it was here. Thousands of years ago, it was here, and it formed a geological formation we call the lake border moraine. In fact, right outside this window from the Chelberg farmhouse, the lake border moraine is all around me. And when that moraine was here, it allowed glacial till to be deposited, such as clay, rocks, minerals, and other debris, and it formed a very rich farmland. The farmland that the Chelberg immigrants hundreds of years ago came and settled and farmed, but they couldn't farm this time of year. They found out they had another crop that they could farm around here on this rich soil of the lake border moraine, and they farmed the sugar maple trees. When you farm sugar maple trees, you stick a little hole in there and you stick a little spile through the hole and out comes the sap. And those sugar maple trees are exactly why the rangers are here at Chelberg Farm this time of year. We find the sugar maple trees, we make sure that they're at least 12 inches across, and then we drill a small hole into them, maybe about 1/3 an inch in diameter. It's not very big. Then we take a little spout, we call it a spile, we tap it into that hole, maybe about 1.5 inches in or so, not too far again, and we hang a container or a bucket from that spile. Well, when the temperature's right and the climate is right, out will come the sap water and it'll fill the containers. Well, this time of year, when the weather and temperature is right, we will carry all that sap to what we call the sugar shack. And there we will boil it down just like the Chelbergs did some 77 years ago to make maple syrup. Well, here at Chelberg Farm, we will be doing that very, very soon for you out there to come and see how we do it. But we won't only stop at the Chelberg's way. We'll also do it the way they did it before contact, when they didn't have anything metal to use, just rocks and stones and wood, and to boil it down, make the same product or make maple sugar. After we show you the pre-contact way, we'll take you and show you a way to make maple syrup with some metal, maybe some metal kettles, and even an evaporating pan back in the day. Then the Chelberg's way at the sugar shack, the nice warm sugar shack where it boils down in about 7 to 8 hours when you first start it up. Well, out will come what we call liquid gold and what your pancakes might call maple syrup. That is very tasty, and you might be thinking, well, I want to come to Chelberg Farm and get a taste of maple syrup. When you come into this nice warm farmhouse that I'm sitting in today, we will give you a taste of maple syrup, and to make you think about it a little bit, we'll also give you that stuff called syrup that comes from the field, from the corn, and then you can see if you can tell the difference between the two. Now you're thinking, well, why this time of year? It's awful cold outside, and this year in 2014 we'll be offering this for you on this Saturday, March 1st, and Sunday, March 2nd, and then next weekend, March 8th and March 9th. Well, we have to do it at the end of winter and the beginning of spring. And normally, that's what this time of year is. We have to plan this months in advance and advertise this to you out there, so we can't really predict what the weather will be. Are the trees thawed right now, flowing sap? No. In fact, they are very frozen and we won't have a lot of sap, but we will still do all of the things that I mentioned to you earlier. So come to Chelberg Farm and see how that's made. Now we're hoping for some freezing nights, we got that covered, but we need a little bit some warm days, and we don't have that very well right now. But once Old Man Winter leaves and spring winds, we will have the thawing of the trees, and the sap will start running up the trees, running down the trees, creating a pressure inside, and we will get that sap coming out of the trees through our little holes, through the spiles, into the buckets, and then boiling it down. We are hoping for a reprieve from Old Man Winter very soon, and that way the trees will thaw out, so will I, Ranger Christy, and we can have maple syrup. Nevertheless, please come out, join us, and see how this American tradition is done.